Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
They'll run on first down. Little. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On second down, it's Little. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. This rushing attack sure looks pretty effective here on this opening drive.
Yeah, they're finding gaps with very little problem right now. If this is going to consistently be this way throughout the game, there's going to be some adjustments made on the defensive side of the ball.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd in there to bury him for a loss of 11. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. From the gun, here's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Marshall. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 1st down, it's Little. He's got daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline out to that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Back to throw. Hamilton. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 14-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's got this one complete to Fountain. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Right back to him on first down. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
They'll run on first down. Little. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
On 2nd down now, it's Little. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Check. Block 54. Block 54. And here we go. Watch the pass.
On first down, Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Marshall trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him not get through. Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Hey, we're on.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Hamilton's pass complete to Paris Campbell. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the result for the Colts is a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Leonard Floyd able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. They go play action here on 1st down. Going for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
This play is under review.
Hamilton's pass, intended for Calvin Ridley, incomplete.
So the ref makes a call, no touchdown there, wipe it off the board. This offense was on the move, now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Hamilton, and he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And this one complete to Smith. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will get the lead up to 14. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Watson now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now it's Watson. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Watson in the offense going to come up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. To try again after the sack. Watson, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Looking to throw. Hamilton under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Colts to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Third quarter starts with a run by Mack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Check 52. Hey, Sam on. Check 49. Check 49. Check 26. Check 26.
They go right back to Mack. And he works free. 20, 10, touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it's struggle. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Little, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 58 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The end result, 21 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Hamilton, his second touchdown on the season, and the Texans get a bit closer.
First and goal, forget running the football, forget establishing anything, just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against type, doesn't it? When you think first and goal from the 1, you're thinking running play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Hamilton. He finds an opening past the 40. Catch made here by Campbell. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Check. Get it.
Off the play fake. Hamilton. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Ready, set.
This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Hamilton. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged...
And it'll be intercepted. A great lead, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Watson off the bootleg. Steps away. And now he's going to use his legs. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting him.
0.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Dances by him. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run him over.
To throw is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
They can't stop the franchise.
That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now in Houston, it's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Hamilton. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Watson on first down. Got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And the Colts pick it up. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
A run by Mack to start the drive. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Watch the screen.
On first down, Hamilton fighting to stay upright. Campbell making the catch. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, 29 yards. And the Colts take advantage of the turnover to put up 6.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
McManus's point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? 22 yards there, a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. To the air yet again, Watson. And the ball is knocked out, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Line of scrimmage, the 31
Check,
now
crunch,
on 1st and 10.
Crunch, slam, fire.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. On the run, it's Campbell. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Again, they run with Campbell. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Campbell. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down at about the length of the football. They'll try and fight for it here with Campbell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now.
And it's a fumble, and the Texans scoop it. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40, past the 20, 10, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Extra point safely through, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again here with Mack. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Indianapolis, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Texans, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll look to get back in the winning column.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in 3. Wins come in 2. Cash comes in 1. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got the foot on. I got that one. They wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down. Hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess, no schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I